So here we are in the big picture. We're still working on test item development, and the 3 steps in test item development that we are going to talk about. 1 is using the table of specifications, which we did. 2 is writing the propositions based on the achievement targets. We've done some discussion of that. Keep that in mind. 3 is writing the test items themselves. That's all contained in step 2. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at the variety of selected response items. The reason we're looking at all the items is because we're talking about learner assessment. And that means we're talking about assessment in your programs as well as the national board assessments and certifications. I realize that they rely heavily on multiple choice. That's why we need to then concentrate on getting a broader picture of the other items and what they're capable of. Now, there should be no surprise that there are 4 types of items for selected response assessments: multiple choice, true-false, matching, and fill-in. So let's start with the multiple choice. The one feature that makes multiple choice so powerful is there is no one right answer. So you're immediately engaging students and your test takers at a level where they must make comparisons and differentiate. So you can see how that makes this an attractive type of question for engaging a more cognitively challenging achievement target. One of the other things is that the guessing is not as, or the guessing is eliminated as a factor. One of the things that is difficult is to identify plausible distractors for your multiple choice item. And Stiggins recommends that you use a fill-in-the-blank question first, which is crafted exactly where you want your multiple choice item, but to allow the students then to fill in incorrect answers which they think are close to the answer, which they believe is the answer, but will reflect misconceptions and misunderstanding of the material. So that's a clever way of combining these types of items to build a good set of questions. And again, building the questions gives you an opportunity to involve students directly in the process. Now, as far as true-false, you can see that these are the simplest, and if you take any one of the propositions that you wrote in developing your test, all you need to do is to put a true and a false next to it, and you have an item already. That's one of the most efficient ways that we know to build good questions, albeit the guessing scores, or the guessing quotient is quite high with true-false. So it could be used, but on a more limited basis. These other 2 item types are well known. Matching is one that's used frequently, but often abused in that we create a list of items and a list of matching items that's too long, or that's matched in size. So if you are going to do a matching set of items, make sure that it doesn't run longer than 6 or 7 questions, and that one of the lists is shorter than the other one so that you can't deduce the list. So you don't want to have 5, say, cities and 5 states. You want to have 5 cities and 6 states, or vice versa. So the other one, the fill-in-the-blank, is another testy one, because you don't want to have too many blanks. In fact, you should have one. It should come in the middle of a sentence or at the end so that the inferences that need to be drawn are clear. And sometimes it's difficult to score the items because it's hard to determine exactly what the correct answer is. So, as I said here before, the incorrect answers may provide distractors for writing multiple choice questions, and this reduces the possibility of guessing. So overall, a mix of these items is what we want to have, but we want to have a mix of items that's well constructed from beginning, that is from achievement target, through the table of specifications and the blueprints, to the writing of propositions, to the construction of the individual test items themselves. And each step along the way, there are opportunities for students to be your partners. As test designers and test users, we need to know not only the big picture of how to design a test, but we need to evaluate the items within a test. This test item quality checklist is made so that you can go through either a teacher-made test or an external test and look at it from a number of different points of view, from general guidelines through guidelines for each one of the different formats and for other aspects of formatting and test and providing instructions and so forth. So this is the test item quality checklist. The test will be provided for you. The assignment will be for you to use this checklist to evaluate a test.